Disturbing things found by TikTokers. In this 2021 TikTok video, the TikToker Chits McGee is explaining on camera that for some days, he has heard some weird noises coming from his bathroom.
So I've been hearing some strange noises coming from this bathroom.
For this reason, he decides to set up a camera in front of the bathroom in order to record whatever is going on. At the beginning of the clip, a person who seems to be a boy can be seen walking through the reflection of the mirror, but what's worse is yet to come. Through the rectangular opening of the door, a horrifying human shape can be seen peeping slightly from the side and then moving back, not to be seen again.
Lots of carjackings go on in gas stations. One may assume that this is a vulnerable moment for the car owner who must step out of the car to fill the tank, and the criminals lie in wait for such moments. In this woman's case, she just finished filling her tank when she noticed the man making his way up to her. Suspecting something, she quickly moves towards the driver's side, but the thief must have threatened her with a weapon because she soon became mellow, standing aside without reacting. The man simply got into the car and drove off before the woman became animated again, running frantically for help. Hopefully she gets to recover her car.
Disturbing moments caught on Twitch live stream. This streamer is going about her normal day, playing with her cat on stream, drinking, and chatting with her followers. Suddenly, she hears a few sirens go off outside, realizing it was her house they were surrounding.
Oh yeah, Dallas life. Listen to that shit. Oh shit. Guys, I don't know what's going on.
The footage cuts as she runs to the door, and as it turns out, she's been swatted. This is an unfortunate trend of internet pranking. The viewers obtain the streamer's personal address and information, only to report them for a fake emergency via 911, causing a SWAT team to be dispatched to their location. Disturbing things caught in the forest. In this 2021 video, a group of friends is rowing a small boat at night when they discover they're not alone on the river. In fact, while floating in still waters, one of the guys reaches his hand into the river but quickly snatches it back as he feels something grabbing him. Scared, the crew directs the camera toward the water a few feet away, looking for the assailant, but as the guys keep observing the water, something terrifying emerges from the darkness.
Bryant dropped his guard. He thought they'd stopped recording.
On the bus and old stories. I don't find it very funny statement at all, mate, to be quite honest. Shouldn't put that on recording. I'm still recording this present stage, so that is on recording.
Disturbing things found by YouTubers. In this 2017 YouTube video, this YouTuber is making a vlog, showing his subscribers his new home. Suddenly, while showing his sister's room on camera, he notices something strange right at the entrance. Embedded in the wall, the YouTuber finds what at first glance appears to be a hidden closet. Hesitant, the YouTuber decides to open the closet, which however soon reveals itself as a door leading to a secret room in the house. Frightened, the YouTuber sheds light through the door, and once inside, he finds a cramped room with extremely small furniture, like a tiny table and candles. Disturbing things caught by drones. In this 2020 drone footage, a man is piloting his drone down a supposedly hunted road during the daytime, hoping to attract the attention of whatever's out there. Suddenly, a mysterious clown comes out of nowhere walking down the road, and tries to hit the drone with a rock. At this point, the drone flies out of range and the clown takes off hiding in the bushes. After a while, the clown steps out for an ambush and tries to throw another rock at the drone, before vanishing one last time into the bushes. Disturbing moments caught on live TV. In this 2017 live footage, Wendy Williams is hosting a Halloween edition of her daytime talk show dressed up as the Statue of Liberty. Suddenly, while announcing an upcoming segment, Williams stopped mid-sentence, her eyes suddenly opened wide and her whole body wobbling violently, before abruptly collapsing on the floor. While viewers initially thought the incident was a Halloween trick, Williams returned after a commercial break to assure them it was not.
That was not a stunt. I'm overheated in my costume and I did pass out.
Disturbing footage of people being followed home. In February of this year, Ali Porath had just arrived home with her 2 children. Her doorbell camera recorded her and her children going inside, closing the door, and immediately being followed by a mysterious man. The man knocked on the door, and even tried the doorknob, but Ali did not answer. He stayed on their doorstep for a long time. Ali felt that he was wanting her to open the door, so that he could push himself inside. Finally the man leaves the doorstep, but her security camera captures him pacing outside the front of her house. Ali's husband was more than an hour away, so she called the police. By the time the police arrived, the man had mysteriously disappeared. Disturbing moments caught on live TV. In this 2013 live footage, a news reporter is getting ready to go live when an elderly local man wanders into the frame. The two exchange polite greetings when suddenly, the reporter can be seen thoughtful and starts to insistently look over the old man, as if he recognizes him from somewhere. As it turned out, the old man who had just passed them by was the same person on whom they were about to file a missing person live report.
Been looking for you for a while. You heard or anything?
He had a memory problem and had wandered away in the wilderness overnight, fortunately finding somehow his way back. Voodoo curse. A massive outbreak of cholera claimed the lives of 2,500 people across Haiti in 2010. Many Haitians assumed the outbreak was due to a voodoo curse, and they began attacking voodoo priests in the area. Mobs lynched at least 45 people, while others were beaten, stoned, and hacked with machetes before being set on fire. Disturbing situations you don't want to find yourself in. Being trapped in an elevator is a lot of people's worst nightmare. But when it does happen, the last thing you want to deal with is a fear of drowning. These young people found out firsthand what this nightmare is like.
It's just crazy because you only see this in a movie. You don't see someone trapped in an elevator every day with water filling up.
During a massive storm in Nebraska, this group went down to check out the flooding. It seems like going down via elevator was a wrong decision, though, because suddenly, the little box began filling quickly up with water, leaving them on a time limit to when space and air would run out.
Honestly, I would say this is #1, the most scariest thing in my life. Yep. Hands down.
The smiley face mystery. During the 1990s and 2000s, nearly 50 young men were drowned across 11 different states throughout the Midwest. Near the scene of each drowning, detectives found smiley faces spray painted on nearby walls. It is believed the deaths and smiley signatures were the work of a modern serial killer. The smiley face murders are still an unsolved mystery.
Veronica S. caught something really creepy on camera. But by far, the most chilling footage Veronica has captured is this following clip, in which a friend of hers tries to confront whatever this is.
Are you here?
Are you in the boys' room?
Shut up, don't be serious.
Answers to what happened to you if something bad happened.
I'm scared to walk in the dark and I'm terrified.
Move that back towards that tree.
I'm following him. Why?
I didn't follow him at all.
I'm not even moving it.
You finally moved?
This door's stuck.
Get the fuck out of here.
Regardless of what it might be, what matters most is that Veronica and her children are now safe. Hopefully, whatever this is didn't follow them.
After receiving reports about a suspicious item in a passenger's bag, police locked down all the terminals in the Miami airport.
They came in and told everybody to get out. The airport was being evacuated, so we all came outside and we've been sitting here ever since.
The passenger in the bag had already boarded the plane, so the plane was stopped on the tarmac till police could arrive and investigate. The video shows SWAT boarding the plane and having all the passengers put their hands on top of their heads. The suspect was taken by police, along with his bag, and taken off the plane. He was not arrested because there was no evidence to support that he had anything in his bags.
You won't believe what was captured by the camera during this video call. In this 2020 clip, a woman had just woken up and was chatting with a friend, only to have her friend asking if someone was with her.
Is there somebody in your house with you?
The woman, however, had thought she was home alone, so she replayed the video call footage for herself, claiming her heart stopped once she saw a dark figure dashing out behind her. At the same time, she spoke to her friend, completely unaware of the terrifying encounter. These shocking pictures show the how so-called human zoos around the world that kept primitive natives in enclosures as entertainment for Westerners in the early 90s. Millions visited the shocking enclosures every day, feeding the prisoners as they were animals. In 2008, Jamie Fraley disappeared without a trace. She had told a friend that a male friend, whom she did not identify, was taking her to the hospital for the third time in 24 hours. But she never arrived to the hospital and has not been seen since. Her discarded cell phone was found at a nearby intersection, but it did not yield any useful evidence. Jamie's fiancé's father was revealed to have been a person of interest in her disappearance, but no solid evidence was found. In 2015, a prison inmate wrote a letter confessing to her murder, but authorities do not believe it is truthful. Jamie's case remains unsolved and her whereabouts are unknown. Mysterious ancient inventions science still can't explain. The Greek fire. The Greek fire was a deadly proto-napalm fired from ships that would cling to flesh and was impossible to extinguish with water. It was used by the Byzantine Empire. The composition of Greek fire still remains a matter of speculation and debate.
2012, in the city of Manchester, located within the UK, the Castlefield House office building on Liverpool Road had something strange happen on the building's security cameras. The clips show an empty office building coming alive at night around 3 a.m. as chairs and papers fly across the room, computers turn on and off, shadows glide across the walls, and something continuously jiggles a door handle while it all happens, as if whatever it is trying to get out. The full duration of the footage is 5 minutes long, so I can't show you guys everything, but you can find a link to the original video down in the description. For now, take a look at a piece of the footage with me and tell me what you guys believe. This building is in fact dubbed by the public as Manchester's most haunted office block, and it's home to dozens of companies including several finance and PR firms, but it's highly debatable if the footage is real. What do you think? Is this fake?
Self-mummification. Between the 11th and 19th centuries, certain Japanese monks practiced a form of meditation called Sokushibutsu. Basically, they would meditate for up to 10 years, slowly quitting eating and drinking until their bodies dried up and they died in a natural form of preservation, often called self-mummification. It is believed that many hundreds of monks tried, but only 24 such mummifications have been discovered to date. How to survive a falling elevator. Theoretically, if you jump at just the right moment as the elevator is hitting the floor, you will slow down the speed of your fall, which would give you a softer landing. But chances that you could make it work are slim. Your best chance is to lie down with the chubbiest side of you on the floor and make sure to protect your head. People disappeared into another dimension. Owen Parfitt. Owen Parfitt lived in the English town of Shepton Mallet and mysteriously disappeared sometime in the 1760s. Parfitt was unable to walk on his own due to disease, so he lived with his sister, who took care of him. One day, Parfitt was sitting outside right by the front door, where he usually sat, and his sister came over to move him. In the chair, she found only the coat that her brother had covered himself with to keep warm. She thought perhaps that a neighbor had moved him inside the house, but when she looked, he was nowhere to be found. All the neighbors said they had not moved Parfitt and had not seen anyone else move him. No one ever saw him again.
This footage may just appear to be a normal man walking around his lawn, however it's actually proof of an insurance and disability fraud case. The man walking in the video had previously claimed to be paralyzed. The man had served in the military and had suffered injuries that had left him allegedly paralyzed.
I'm paralyzed. I have a TBI.
A foundation that was dedicated to housing disabled vets had given the veteran and his family a home for free. After they moved in, neighbors of the veteran started seeing the supposedly paralyzed veteran walking in his backyard. They alerted the foundation about the veteran, and the foundation tried to get in contact with the veteran via phone, but their calls were never answered by the veteran. After one of the neighbors was able to take a video of the veteran walking, the foundation sent an investigator who tried to speak with the veteran, but the veteran stayed in his bedroom and did not come out. A few days after the investigator had visited, the family moved out of the home without telling anyone and disappeared.
This is not an urban legend. The Beast of Gévaudan was a large, black-furred, aggressive canine that stalked the French countryside in the 1760s. Unlike most cryptids, the beast is credited with the deaths of over 130 people and countless livestock. In other words, it was real. Its description reads as a canid larger than any dog or wolf, with a rounded muzzle, and a sloping back. It was noted to scream, not howl.
The soap maker. In 1946, Italian serial killer Leonardo Cianciulli was trialed and sentenced to 30 years in prison for the murder of 3 women. To get rid of the bodies, she cut them up and then made them into soap and crunchy tea cakes, which she gave to her visitors. In her confession, she admitted to eating some of the cakes herself. According to Leonardo, these crimes were committed in order to lift a curse. Billionaire founder of CNN, Ted Turner, has a video scheduled to be broadcasted when the end of the world is upon us. It has been ready since 1980. On the screen appears, barring satellite problems, we won't be signing off until the world ends. We'll be on, and we will cover the end of the world. That will be our last event. In 2018, the YouTuber Infinite was followed home by a scary clown on Halloween.
That is the creepiest thing ever. Oh my god.
He was able to capture a video of it from inside his house. In the video, you can clearly see a scary clown standing outside the window of Infinite's house. When the clown sees Infinite filming, he waves, and then disappears around the side of the house.
Is he going to the door? No, I have to lock it.
This is when Infinite gets really scared, as he realizes that his front door is unlocked, and that the clown may be able to get inside his house. He makes it to his front door and locks it just in time. He puts the camera up to the peephole, and you can see the clown standing outside his door, trying to get in.
I was actually getting out of my car, walking up to my apartment, and I get into my house and I just hear the doorknob wiggle. What's that? And I look at my app, my Ring door app, and I see a guy standing outside, and I just freak out.
Who is that? Get out of here! Ramirez has no idea who the man is or why he was at her door.
24 years in the basement. In 2008, a woman named Elizabeth Fritzl told police in the town of Amstetten, Austria, that she had been held captive for 24 years by her father, Joseph Fritzl. Fritzl has assaulted and raped her numerous times during her imprisonment inside a concealed area in the basement of the family home. The abuse by Elizabeth's father resulted in the birth of 7 children. Here's what happens if you forget to lock your door at night. Serial killer Richard Chase killed 7 people in a span of a month in Sacramento, California. He was nicknamed the Vampire Killer because he drank his victims' blood and ate the remains. He only broke into houses that were unlocked. If they were locked, he thought it meant he was unwelcome, but if they were not, he saw it as an invitation to enter. What happens if you swallow a seed? In 2009, 28-year-old Artyom Sidorkin went to the doctor after coughing up blood and having chest pains. The doctors thought that he had cancer and performed surgery to remove it. Upon removing the cancerous growth, the doctors discovered it was actually a 5 centimeters tree that had been growing inside him. Disturbing facts that will ruin your day, Part 24. Ants can form what is called a death spiral when a group of ants is lost and starts following each other's pheromone trail, leading to death by exhaustion. If you took all of the world's spiders and let them out in Netherlands, they would consume the country's population in 3 days. Horned lizards squirt blood from their eyes as a defense mechanism. You can actually fit all the planets in the solar system in the space between the Earth and the Moon.
In this video, 3 thieves tried to think outside the box as they made an attempt to rob a Target store. The video was taken by a surveillance camera, and the footage shows a semi-large fire growing in the women's clothing section of the store. This fire was no accident. The thieves set it in an attempt to distract people while they grabbed items and put them into large bags. However, because Target stores are so large, nobody really noticed the fire until it got very big. One thief stood as a lookout while the other two grabbed merchandise and shoved it into large bags. When the fire was finally noticed, the entire store was evacuated, forcing the thieves to have to leave too. They did take the bags with them as they evacuated the store, but the fire didn't do enough damage to stop the surveillance cameras from capturing clear images of their faces.
The real angel of death. Dr. Joseph Mengele, also known as the Angel of Death, used around 500 twins for his painful genetic experiments during World War II. In one of these experiments, Mengele sewed 2 Romani twins together, back to back, in a crude attempt to create conjoined twins. How to survive if you are buried alive. If you are buried in a typical coffin, you will have enough air to survive for an hour or two. Conserve your air supply, taking deep breaths, and use your shirt to protect you from suffocating on loose earth. Assess the quality of the wood. A chipboard coffin or a recycled paperboard coffin will be relatively easy to break through with your feet. On the other hand, a metal-clad or hardwood coffin will be impossible to pierce. In this case, your only hope is to signal for rescue using a metal object. Have you ever seen this man? If yes, you are one of the thousands across the world who have dreamed this man. According to the This Man website, set up to bring together the people who have dreamed about him, in January 2006 in New York, the patient of a well-known psychiatrist draws the face of a man that has been repeatedly appearing in her dreams. On more than one occasion that man has given her advice on her private life. That portrait lies forgotten on the psychiatrist's desk for a few days until one day, another patient recognizes that face and says that the man has often visited him in his dreams. From January 2006 until today, more than 2,000 people have claimed they have seen this man in their dreams, in many cities all over the world. Every person who dreamed about him swears to has never met the man in real life. What do you think? Have you ever dreamed about him? Mysterious ancient inventions science still can't explain, Part 3. This is a Roman dodecahedron, a small hollow object made of copper alloy which has been cast into a dodecahedral shape. More than 200 years after they were first discovered, researchers are no closer to understanding the origin and function of this mysterious object. Guesses include candle stands, flower stands, surveying instruments, finger ring size gauges, and even gaming dice. What happens if you trust strangers? Suspected murderer Matthew Williams had just been released from prison after served a 5-year prison sentence for a violent attack on his partner. While at a bail hostel, Williams lured a young woman back to his room despite the building's rules against guests. When the staff came to his room to notify Williams of the policy, they found him eating the woman's face off. Bizarre true crime stories. Writer and photographer Christian Bala was caught for murder only after a detective read his novel about a fictional homicide, which contained similarities and details to the real-life murder that only the killer would know about. Authorities found he was also planning to commit another crime to tie in with his second novel. Shocking moments caught at Target stores, Part 1. In this video, a woman films herself talking to a man in a Target store. It's unclear what they are talking about, but then the woman points the camera at him and asks if he remembers talking to her before. The man instantly starts running out of the Target.
Stop that guy! Call the cops! Call the cops on him! Call the cops!
The woman chases him out yelling for people to stop him and call the police. She chases him all the way out to the parking lot, and he gets in his car and leaves. The woman said that she had seen the man in the Target before, and he had asked her super inappropriate questions that made her feel very uncomfortable.
That was what was going through my head, was just, I had to get his face, I had to get something on him to put him out there and catch this guy.